Hello, I'm Shane Collins. I am the caretaker of the Allegheny Airlines Flight 371 crash site. This is June of 2026, and I came up to check on the site itself and to bring some new flags. In fact, tomorrow is Flag Day, so I thought this would be appropriate time to do so. So this area here is where the tail section of Allegheny Airlines Flight 371 came to rest. In the fall of 2023, my cousin Mark Avery and myself installed this second plaque, which shows the location of where the Martin executive came to rest after it crashed on the north side of Bald Eagle Mountain. In fact, it says this is the location where the tail section of Allegheny Airlines Flight 371 came to rest on December 1st of 1959. Now, also included up here is some small pieces of debris at this section of the crash site. This piece of metal, you'll see some numbers. That 202 represents the model of plane. This was a Martin 202, an executive, Martin Executive, which is the title that Allegheny Airlines called the airliner. It was mainly for business class people, but anyone could ride on a Martin Executive. There's also some other small fragments, top of a bottle. Some of these sections are from the rear of the plane. These sections of cable, that long cable there, and that metal was found up here at this location of where the tail was. Okay, that's looking back at the first plaque that I just showed you. I've hiked down to a lower spot where the main part of the wreckage for Flight 371 is located. And this is where the first plaque is located. And I'll proceed to walk down here. And we're going to take a look at some of the pieces of debris that are still here. There are lots and lots of debris, actually. A lot more than a lot of people realize, actually. In September of 2024, I installed an artifact board and decided to put some items on this artifact board. And I'm going to show that to you now. Just real quickly here. Here you can see some suitcase latches, a cross from a rosary that I found a few years ago. This is an Allegheny Airlines hat pin that one of the pilots would have had on their hat. This actually is one of the plates for the Martin 202. This plate, I did some research years ago, and this plate was located on the left side under the cockpit. And this shows that it was from the Glenn Martin Company out of Baltimore, and shows that this is a Martin 202. And I did some further research and was able to identify that this was the plane, in fact, that crashed here in 1959. Here's some Allegheny spoons. Believe it or not, they still say Allegheny Airlines. They're plastic. They've weathered quite well up here since the late 50s. Here's a label for some sort of machinery. It was a tag on a piece of machinery. This is a piece of someone's eyeglasses. You can see the part that would have gone back to your ear. I think this is also a lens to someone's eyeglasses. A latch. And there's some other various parts back here. I'm not sure what some of these things are, but I thought that they were cool enough to include in this artifact board. Surprisingly enough, a light bulb that my cousin Mark Avery located when we brought this second plaque up here in the fall of 2023. This is a grill for around one of the speakers for the announcement system in the plane. There's some other pieces of equipment here. Plexiglass, probably from one of the windows. This is, well, it says 3.5 amps It mentions a battery company, so something to do with one of the onboard batteries. Believe it or not, this material, this green material, has been up here since 1959. It is vinyl. I did some research, and this material was used for, if you think you can guess what this is, it's an armrest. It's the only armrest I found up here at the crash site. And as you can see, there's some material there as well. All right, now moving along, you'll see that the artifact board is located here. And above that is some large pieces of wreckage. I know it's hard to tell here in the video by the scale, but if I was to stand by that large piece there is, I'm taller than that piece, but it's pretty large. I believe it's the nose cone to the cockpit of the plane. I believe that's what that piece is. There's all kinds of various little pieces of metal laying around that large piece. Here's another large section. Some new flags that I brought up. They stand pretty tall. There's some other large pieces of twisted metal that I've sort of placed here at the memorial just to kind of give it a nice proper look to everything here. Here's some more pieces of aluminum and metal that came off the plane. Here's a big twisted pile of seat springs. Found a lot of these up here over the years. And there's all kinds of, like I said, there's all kinds of metal and stuff located up here. And then we'll swing around here to the first plaque that my cousin Mark Avery and I installed in the fall of 2016. So this will have been up here for almost 10 years this fall. And it's doing quite well. I came up here and cleaned this with some Lysol wipes. In fact, I cleaned the artifact board and the other plaque that I showed you. And you can see here that it says, dedicated to the passengers and crew of Allegheny Airlines Flight 371. On December 1st, 1959, Allegheny Airlines Flight 371 failed. After a failed landing attempt at the Williamsport Airport, crashed at this site. 25 of the 26 passengers and crew were killed. The lone survivor was Louis Matarazzo of Philadelphia. And you'll see that we've included some photographs here in a collage that I did. We had permission from DCNR, excuse me, I can't talk. I'm out of breath. A lot of hiking to get here. And of course, the most important thing is remembering everyone that was on board Flight 371. And I'm going to start here and work my way down so you can see all the people that were tragically taken on this plane crash all those years ago. And the crew of Flight 371 as well. Now at the bottom there, you'll see where it says, please for more information, visit AlleghenyFlight371.com. It is now a different website. I've created a different website since that time. If you go to Facebook, you will be able to find Allegheny Airlines Flight 371 memorial page. And once you're there, you'll find a link to my website. The website has lots of photo galleries, information, stories about the passengers and crew. All right, I'm going to kind of zoom. I'm going to kind of go over here and just kind of give show you from this angle here. So if we zoom up here, you'll see way up there. It's hard to see, but that's where the second plaque is located. It's quite a ways up the hill there. And then, like I said, here's all the large pieces of debris. Well, thank you for watching my video. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at shanetiakman@gmail.com, and I will be sure to answer any questions.